to work, but the fight carries on as the government votes to send college faculty back to class. What union leaders are saying about the future of talks.
You're watching Global Toronto. This is Global News at 6.
Back to work legislation has been passed and teachers will be heading back to the classrooms. After a rare weekend session, the controversial legislation was passed. And while there's some relief, the battle may be far from over. Erica Vela has more in our top story.
Resolve that the bill do now pass.
Marking the end of a 5-week-long college strike. Starting Monday, more than 12,000 professors, instructors, counselors, and librarians will be back at work.
Well, of course, I'm in it for my students, and so I'm really happy I'll be seeing them again. I'm really happy to be getting back to work.
Jamie Smith is one of them.
I'm really disappointed that we're going back to a situation where education's not going to be improved for them.
On Sunday, back to work legislation went through its third and final reading. But the passing of the legislation moved a lot slower than the Liberals wanted.
This terrible chapter is over. We obviously have a lot of work to do.
The Liberals blame the delay on the NDP.
We are very clear to the government that we would have their bill passed by the end of the weekend. Whether that process started Thursday or Friday makes no difference in terms of the outcome, in terms of the timelines.
Now, this 5-week-long college strike is the longest of its kind in the province's history. But just because the strike is over and students will be back in class this week, it doesn't necessarily mean the fight is over. Workers will return under the same contract from before the strike.
Arbitrator has to be appointed and convene within 30 days, so we have to put our cases to the arbitrator, and the arbitrator must report the results within 90 days.
And the union says they're also not opposed to pursuing legal action.
Well, we're looking at what we'll do around a charter challenge.
There are also still questions around how students will be compensated for their time out of class.
We have been advocating as well is to be able to have those options for those who don't feel successful in completing their semester to be able to get a refund.
And for those not wanting to leave?
We have directed the colleges to set aside the net savings from the strike, as they have not been paying faculty through the strike. And we will very soon be able to talk about how that money will be dispersed. It will be returned to students.
But there is a silver lining for the union. A new task force to look more deeply into the college system.
Which is a huge win. It took quite a bit to talk the Premier and the Minister into it, but they see the value of it now.
For Smith, there's a lot of catch-up for both the teachers and students, but he says he's ready.
We'll do our best. Will there be enough time in the school calendar as it's now set up? I hope so, but we'll do our best.
Erica Vela, Global News.